Ladies and gentlemen, a very important video talking about a 50 basis point interest rate cut by the Fed today. Palantir announcing a major deal, and you have Jim Cramer coming out switching his opinion with a recent remark on Palantir. Lots of things are happening. And also, we're only 5 subscribers away from 16,000 subscribers. I really can't thank you guys enough and just want to take this moment to express my gratitude for everybody that takes the time out of their day to watch these daily updates on the stock market, particularly looking at these AI stocks. We have a lot to dive into, so of course, if you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, pop it up on the news right here. You got Meet Kevin coming up and showing this clip that Palantir, Jim Cramer comes out and says that Palantir is a cold stock. It is a meme stock. What? And it is a stock that has momentum because individual investors keep piling into it. It is not even really a stock. It's just a barometer, may or not be doing well. What are we talking about here? If it's truly a meme stock, then why would you have all these governmental contracts, speaking of that, transitioning, that are pooling in a lot of money? And we've seen the expansion with very professional commercial companies getting into AIP. So I think that's great to see here. We'll see how this continues to play out, and even if Alex Karp has a response to that. But I just thought that was laughable. I think a lot of people would agree in that sense. Breaking news, though, for Palantir right here, was awarded $99.8 million, a firm fixed price contract for user licenses for the Maven Smart System AI tool for its software support and its hardware. Work locations and fundings are going to be determined with each order with an estimated completion date of 5 years. So this is a firm fixed 5-year price contract for user licenses and hardware for the Maven Smart System. This is from the Army Contracting Command. Great to see here. Palantir is continuing to establish, and you're seeing what's actually happening in the limelight, in reality. So not a meme stock to me. Now, talking about price action today, we have the 50 basis point interest rate cut. We're going to be talking about why the Fed made that decision. It was more than I was originally anticipating. I was only anticipating a 25 basis point cut. At first, I didn't think they were going to go that hard, that quick, but that's what we're seeing. So how the market's going to trade tomorrow will be, I think we're going to see some volatility. Or we could also not. And you're probably wondering, hey, why are you jumping on both sides of the fence? And that is because the market was really pushing. We saw the probability increase for that 50 basis point cut, and that was kind of being priced in. So it will be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. We do have the broader indexes that do close just slightly in the red, not bad. I think we could see a little more action tomorrow because we're going to be wondering where are things going. Now, Palantir closes here at 36.38, basically down a little tiny bit on the day, but up in the after hours, doing very well, holding this mid 30 level. And at these price zones, you can see this ascending level here of support that keeps continuing to be built. And this is really important if we do see any type of pullback, establishing and consolidating in the mid 30s. I think is incredibly bullish for Palantir, especially since one of its biggest criticisms, of course, is its valuation. We know this. We could beat this 100 times with a hammer. Everybody criticizes the valuation. And I'm not saying throw that opinion and throw that concern right out the window. No. But where Palantir sits right now, where the market is sitting right now with interest rates, it will be interesting to see because I'll be showing you guys something interesting in just a few moments here. In terms of options, you got about 13,000, 16,000 call volume at the 36, 37. Put volume increasing a little bit. However, a lot of call volume still at the 38, even a decent amount of call volume at the 40. So we'll see what happens there with the announcement too of this 5-year firm fixed price contract. This is going to bring more bullishness coming into Palantir. Now, talking about what a good article the Street reports here, veteran analysts, a lot of them kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. And that is because I think they're kind of probably scared to see what future price targets will be and don't want to be the first ones to really jump on the gun. Now, this article talks about Alex Karp getting onto TV. We saw recently this last weekend being compared to all these different things. Is he the next, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, becoming the next rock star CEO? One thing we do know about Alex Karp, I think he's very well spoken, very good at presenting, and doing very well at always answering questions with a very thorough response. And I think he's a very good spokesperson for the company. Now, talking about this, Palantir has added more than 35 billion, in market cap value over the last year. And now we have the S&P 500 that rebalance when it's actually going to be included into the S&P 500 is going to be before market open on September 23rd. That's next Monday. That brings a lot of maturity to a company. And we've already seen the inclusion effect. Palantir up about 15% since that. But where Palantir, talking about Palantirs for my grandchildren, what they're talking about here is where are we going to see prices in the near future? And talking what some of these veteran traders are saying here, moving and trying to get onto dollar cost averaging, adding more shares on the dips, talking about where current prices are. It's important to remember, this is what I mentioned before, that we're going to get into, that the worst 2 weeks of the year for stocks, most years tend to straddle late September and early October. That's where we're at right now. And we've talked about this in recent videos that historically we have seen September not be the best month for the broader market. And when the stock dips, and it will, be waiting to open arms and refill on its top 5 weighting. So analysts saying here, right now, just with history, sometimes history does repeat itself. We've seen that with September. Palantir has closed basically 9, green has been in the positive 9 times in the last trading sessions, or not in the last 9 trading sessions. So with that, when are we going to have a red day? Will it come, especially with the interest rates coming up here? But for the long term, of course, I'm still remaining bullish on Palantir. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates. Let's get into more detail about this by 0.5 percentage point. This is a big historical move because this is the first Federal Reserve cut since its first rate reduction, or basically since that 2020. So it's been about 4 years, and we've seen these very record high interest rates. Stocks, talking about this policy shift right here, was expected. Everybody was expecting at least a 0.25% or 25 basis point rate cut. Hopes for that 50, and that's what we got. Now, the Fed chair comes out here and says that the supersized cuts, it was timely and basically not showing that, hey, the economy is way rougher of a position that we thought. It's the sign of the commitment not to get behind. And he really did emphasize that the economy is still going strong and basically explain that they don't want to get behind on and are trying to still aim for that soft landing. And we see the probability, and a lot of analysts on Wall Street is actually starting to increase in their confidence that a soft landing will be achieved. He feels that the economy is in good shape with just some of the macroeconomic data that we've seen. Seeing here, the market feels that things were priced right heading into the meeting. And you can see here on this bar chart, the split bar chart, that investors are growing increasingly confident in a soft landing. Hard landing is coming down in chance. There's still always, of course, that probability. But the central bank right here weighing in, doing a 50 basis point cut. One thing I think we're going to start to see that continues to trickle down are mortgage rates, which is really good for those home buyers and just bringing more affordability to the housing market. Labor market is solid. Comes in, he kind of emphasizes here the 4.2% unemployment rate, labor force participation, and wage growth. Things that we will be looking for, we have existing home sales data, I believe that's going to be coming out here in the near future, and jobless claims, I believe, are the other macroeconomic pieces of data that will be coming out. And some are even expecting possibly another interest rate cut, or even 2 possibly by the end of the year. Now, in terms of where the rate actually sits, it goes to about 4.75%. To about that 5%, where it was sitting before was about that 5.2 to about 5.5%, I believe. Right off, I don't have the numbers right on top of my head, but with that 50 basis point cut, like I said, it will be interesting to see what happens in the market tomorrow. Nvidia Don't have a ton of time to get specifically into this. We know that it's in a cup and handle technical pattern. Things are looking good for NVIDIA. Specifically, what we see for the stock sitting at about 113. You can see that cup and handle is right here, right in front of our face. So if this continues to come to fruition, if we see bullishness coming through here, that's where we could see some of these prices increase, or vice versa. I think it's really just going to depend on how the market reacts by the end of the week. Let me know, what do you think down in the comments about all this, especially with the views on Palantir and their deal. And we will be doing some more historical analysis. I want to do some more deep diving before I talked in a video about what typically we've seen once we see a switch with the interest rate cuts. It's going to take a little bit of research, but I do want to get a little more investigative into that to bring you guys just some critical data that I think everybody deserves. Peace out, take care, and I'll catch you guys later.